Welcome to Beyond a Thought. This is part 2 of Reckoning with Our Emotions. Check out part 1 if you haven't done so yet. And of course, please comment and subscribe. Also, please subscribe. Once you've got an idea of how you are feeling, it's time to get curious. This means having the willingness to open a line of inquiry into what's really going on and why. A study published in the October 2014 issue of the journal Neuron suggests that the brain's chemistry changes when we become curious, helping us better retain information. Brené furthers that a growing number of researchers believe that curiosity and knowledge building grow together. The more we know, the more we want to know.
Is that exciting?
Figuring out what's going on for you can take time, so don't pressure yourself into finding the answer straight away. Life is a constant journey of figuring things out. I'm 32 and I still haven't figured my life out.
Who am I? Where do I belong? Is this the place for me? What is the meaning of all this?
The bad news though is that many of us have grown up believing that emotions aren't worthy of our attention. In fact, for men, being vulnerable is particularly hard. We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie says this about the matter.
We must raise our daughters differently. We must also raise our sons differently. We do a great disservice to boys in how we raise them. We stifle the humanity of boys. We define masculinity in a very narrow way. Masculinity becomes this hard, small cage, and we put boys inside the cage. We teach boys to be afraid of fear. We teach boys to be afraid of weakness, of vulnerability. We teach them to mask their true selves because they have to be, in Nigeria speak, hard man.
Approaching yourself with curiosity and empathy can be hard. Our emotions form such a large part of our identity, and when you are facing a setback, it disrupts our identity narrative. The kind of person we think we are versus the person we truly are. The thing that gets in the way of reckoning with our emotions is the same thing that gets in the way of all courageous behavior. Fear. Having a supportive environment is only part of the solution. As corny as this sounds, we have to take the time to look deeper into ourselves and ask who we are and how we want to live. To be honest, I think of a scene from the greatest show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Uncle Iroh stops Prince Zuko from making another stupid decision he's sure to regret.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny, or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
Being curious is being vulnerable. It's surrendering yourself to uncertainty. Children do this best, always reimagining themselves and the world around them. It's a fearless sense of play and curiosity that leads to growth. The more that life has battered us around, the less curious that we have become. Fear is part of human instinct and survival, but it is important to understand what is protecting us and what is holding us back. As YouTube sensation fitness dance instructor Kira Lachey says, through challenge comes change. Another great quote is from the overquoted and often misquoted Albert Einstein. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot... Basically what he's saying is that being curious isn't just for acquiring knowledge. It is evidence that we are alive, that we exist. Get curious and pay attention. Take a deep breath and become mindful of what you are feeling. Take a walk, meditate, or do something so simple as a breathing exercise if you have to. Check the link above. Write it down on a piece of paper if you like. I give myself permission to be ... Otherwise call a friend or family member and ask permission to be ... This is all a practice of mindfulness, which means maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and surrounding environment. It also involves acceptance, not judging our thoughts and feelings by believing they are the right or wrong way to feel in that given moment. See, how mindfulness works is it allows our minds to focus on what's happening in the present instead of rehashing what's happened in the past and pondering what's to come. Thanks for watching this part 2 on The Reckoning. Check out part 1 if you haven't done so yet. A little random, but I found this diagram by Dr. Gloria Wilcox called the emotional wheel. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Basically, it'll help you figure out what feelings or emotions you're going through in that current moment. Comment below about a book that really helped you get curious. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you next time when we go Beyond a Thought. Yeah, I think I've definitely got some there.